Don't you just love agates? There are more than 100 varieties of agates in the world. Today, we're going to cut 21 different ones. Come along.
So many beautiful rocks. That's a nice thing to find on my way out.
This is Argentinian banded plume, and we're going to cut a couple of these, see what they look like. These little nodules are called chopstick agate, and they're from China. And the reason they're called chopstick agate is because they have little bitty lines in them that look like chopsticks. Can't really see it here, but when we cut it, you'll see what they look like. All right, let's see if we can see why they call this chopstick agate. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. These are some of my favorites. These are, when I bought them, they were labeled Brazilian rainbow agates, and I have cut a couple of them and they live up to their name. So we're going to cut some of these as well. And I'm going to cut this one. I actually cut something that looked, oh, that one's got lines in it. Yeah, I've already got a lined one. No idea. Cut something like this that looked like it was kind of nothing at all. And it had some really cool stuff inside, so we'll see. And then where was that one that I just had? I think this one. I picked this one and I thought I had already picked out some with lines, and I haven't, so we'll do 3 of those. Okay, so this is the Brazilian rainbow agate, and this one I was a little bit, it's kind of meh. It almost looks like jasper. It doesn't have anything interesting inside. One of these that I cut that had this red exterior actually looks sort of like a peppermint candy inside, so apparently you just really never know. Let's take a look at this one. This one has the lines in it, so I kind of expect a pretty linear pattern, and that is just really nice, isn't it? Very nice. And then this one, which you could tell from the outside, this is a nice agate. I wasn't really sure how to cut it, so I kind of sacrificed the stone to show you. And first I cut this way, which is quite pretty, but doesn't really show the cool pattern as much as I had hoped. It's got some water line down on the bottom there. And so then I cut across the top, which is clearly how I should have cut in the first place. That's not supposed to be in there, I don't think. This is Gambiri agate, and these are agates from Malawi, Africa. And Gambiri and Alamaho are from the kind of the same region, but they're just slightly different. And I've got both, so we're going to cut them. The colors are kind of washed out right now. This is really a deep red, these agates are. So we'll pick a couple. I don't know if that one's even supposed to be in there. Well, we'll take it anyway. I'll take one more nodule. All right, let's see what we got there. I think this is actually Turkish stick agate, which I have some more of, so we'll cut this one as well and double check to make sure that's what it is. Ooh, that is pretty. Oh my gosh, I just love this material. I haven't cut this before, and I think I'll cut it again. Beautiful. These are super fun. These are called Swazi agates, and they're from Mozambique, which is also in Africa. And they have this really cool kind of purple outline, purple outer core, and then often has some really gorgeous reds in it. So we'll get a few of these as well. All right. You can see the red inside there. Here's the first one. I really like kind of the soft purple and the banding that they have here. This is just the end. The banding probably would get stronger. See where it's starting to grow there. But it is something that then you can make, you know, a really nice little cabochon just out of the shape of the necklace, out of the nodule. And then finally, ta-da! Again, really nice purples and reds. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like some kind of a lace agate. I think a fellow in Utah sent it to me, and so I'll look it up and put the name. I'll put the name up on the screen once I figure it out, and we'll cut this one as well. This same fellow also sent me some pink opal, and I just uncovered it when I was organizing my stuff, and he had asked me if I'd had a chance to cut it, and of course I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one also, even though it's opal and not an agate. Ooh, that's a lot of agates. These are Montana moss agates, of course. You can see this one's already cut. And these ones you don't always get something beautiful. But often this one's kind of pink. That's weird. All right, so we'll take this one, and we'll take this one, and we'll take this one. All right. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to try cutting this one in half, which I wouldn't usually do, but I think it might be kind of cool to see both halves of it. So let's give it a shot. These are island agates, and they are not super colorful, but they have beautiful banding in them. This one looks like it's got an eye in it, so that's cool. These are from an island, an undisclosed island somewhere off of Australia, and there are people who know where it is, but they try to keep it secret so that their agates are safe. Look at that one. We'll definitely cut that one. Bubbling. You can see this is a great example of how the agate forms in layers within the pocket, and this one's just broken off and left one of the layers. I'll probably cut it on this side so that this very cool bubble stays. This side's pretty interesting though. I love that little red streak in there. That's really unusual. Anyway, I wanted to show you this. So remember I was talking about how the agates form within the nodule, and then you can see here, so those rings, the agate formed one ring at a time, and this one just happens to have broken with the ring intact. So I've never seen that before. I think it's very cool. This is a pink plume agate from Idaho, and let's see what it looks like. This beautiful agate is a Koyamito pseudomorph. And Koyamito agates are from Mexico, and pseudomorphs means that they have grown to look like something else. In this case, it looks sort of like a plant. And it's going to be interesting to cut this one. I'm going to try, I think, to just cut it in half this way so that I don't lose any of this texture or this directional growth. But I'm kind of nervous because this is one of the most expensive agates I've ever cut. This is the one I was most excited about and nervous about, and it was probably the least impressive of anything that I cut. It looks like maybe some of the agate stuff got through on the pseudomorph shape, but there's just nothing here. So this Koyamito pseudomorph, this lovely piece is Mexican crazy lace, and you can see the reason they call it that is because it grows all up and down and all around. I really, really like this. I found this one on the Yellowstone River, and because it looks kind of agate-y, I'm going to cut the end of it off here and see if it actually is an agate. It's certainly not a Montana agate, but sometimes you find other things on the Yellowstone. Not an agate, some kind of jasper maybe, but it's cool. These little nodules are El Sueco agates. They are also from Mexico and from the El Sueco mine, I guess. This one actually looks like it's a pseudomorph. It looks a little bit more like Koyamito, but I guess we'll cut it, find out. I've actually cut a few of these. Some of them are just complete duds, and some of them are just beautiful. And again, these are from Mexico, and I have no idea if these are duds or studs. These are called 1970s Malawi Classic, and I guess it's because they were found in the 1970s, and so there's not that many of them left, but they sure are cool. This beauty is, as you can see, wow, I wrote on here, a Paiute agate. And Paiute agates are from, I think, Washington, possibly Oregon, the Pacific Northwest somewhere. And I've never cut one before, so that should be interesting. Looks like it's really pretty, though. Well, this could be very interesting. Oh, that's really pretty, isn't it? I'm fairly certain that this beautiful thing is a Laguna agate, and it is just gonna be so pretty. It's got another pseudomorph there, and the weird thing is it has another pseudomorph over here going the other direction, so could be really tricky to cut, but give it a shot. Look at those pretty sprays. That is really lovely. Here's some of the Alimaho agate. Remember, this is similar to the Gambiri, just a little bit different. Okay, here are the Alimaho agates that we grabbed. Kind of pretty. It's interesting how this one doesn't have any color, any of the red in it at all, but it's got the real pretty outer part. these little agates are called Flower of Peach. I think it's odd that they're not called peach flower, but maybe it's a direct translation of the language that they're from. I think they are found in the desert Southwest. These came from my dear friend Kim, who you know as Montana Rock Mom. So let's see what Flower of Peach gives to us. Okay, so this is what this looks like before it gets cleaned up. I'm kind of wondering, it's more soft than I expected, so I'm wondering if it's actually kind of jasper rather than an agate. But we'll get them cleaned up and you can see how red it made the saw oil. Anyway, it's quite pretty. Really pretty stuff. Thanks, Kim. These are what is called Moctezuma agates. These are from Mexico as well. They are different though because they have pastel colors instead of the bright red ones, so I'm excited to give them a shot.
Wow, so many beautiful rocks. If you want to share in the treasures, check out my Etsy store, Katie Did Rocks. The link is in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining me, and keep on doing.